every excuse you make is a brick in your cage, holding you down. When you're born, and this is for a topic for another day, but when you're born into your life, let's say mainly in the first world, you know, even in the whole world really, there's a myriad of associations, of rules, practices that you don't even know exist. And as you're going through your life, you start to realize that there are certain things that are not necessarily in alignment with who you are, what you're doing, and just your day-to-day activities. Corporations, law enforcement, organizations, down to your parents, all follow some rule-based system or a belief system that you can or cannot do certain things. Now, as you're growing up and as you're going through your day-to-day life, you don't necessarily know what these things are and how they shape you, but what comes out of it is a symptom that you are living through, and that becomes the thing that's holding you back. Now, it's not a physical thing. It is a limiting belief. You might not know it as that moment, but there are things that are causing you to be a certain way, to form a certain type of habit, whether that could be detrimental to your progression in your life, whether if that's the need to snack or overindulging. Typically it's an overindulgence or self-sabotage to some degree that's holding you back from progressing or doing what you want to be doing. And understanding the root cause is one aspect. Understanding the root cause is, in a sense, realizing a brick that's caging you from when you're born. So imagine yourself, you're born to this open, vast, void, and let's use the term the matrix as the thing that's holding you back. But you don't see it, you don't really understand it, but it's this programming that's keeping you from doing what you want to do, building what you want to do, being who you want to be. You don't know what's doing that. You're going through life and there's feedback from your external environment that's making you realize, why can't I do this thing? I'm saying that I want to do it, but I just can't get to doing it for whatever reason. I say I want to lose this weight, I want to stop eating, overindulging, I want to start walking, running, going to the gym, I want to do these things, but for some reason I'm just not able to do it. Now these days there's something called light work and shadow work. I'm sure you've heard of it. This is not one of those videos. Not to say that there's something inherently wrong with those things or approaches, but there are these, things you can do. Go to therapy, taking medications, or things you can do to try to lead you into the right path to, progress. Now, most of the time to do these things, some people need to actually, or most of us, need to be diagnosed or labeled. And at least what that does is two things. One, it can put you down a path of perpetual healing, where I have to heal this trauma, I have to heal this thing, I have to do this thing. And then you go down this path. Or it can put you down another path where now you're being diagnosed or you're being labeled as someone who needs to take these medications. Now you're down another path. Again, both, you can come out of both paths a victor. I'm not saying you can't. But if you stay in the mindset that you have this label, this excuse, this brick, you've understood now what's holding you back, right? First, there was this invisible void, or this invisible force field. You had no idea what it was. But now you're getting some feedback. The challenges of going to the gym, sticking to that plan. The hardship of putting down the food, or the fact that every time you're walking somewhere you feel a nagging pain or sensation in your oh god, my forehead is way too big to be Okay. Much better. Ish. You have this, right? You have this nagging pain that's constantly you're experiencing it until you either label it or you're just a master at your own reality from the get-go. But we're saying that we're not. That's the whole purpose of this. You label it, but then now you label that in the forefront of your mind that I have some type of I don't know what it's called anymore, but patellar syndrome, patellar fasciitis, or some issue in the knee. I used to have a better knowledge of this, but you had a pain in your knee. You overindulge because you're an emotional eater. You're procrastinating, you have ADHD, so you can't stick to or commit to one thing. These are all labels that you can now figure out what is the path to become better from this. But what people usually get stuck on, what you are probably getting stuck on, is that you are living your life as that label, and that's all you see, and that's all you focus on. That's, you put that in front of your mind, and now that becomes an excuse. That's when limiting beliefs become an excuse, or that's when it becomes now you're in my culture you're playing the ass. When really what you should be doing is having that brick in your invisible field be manifested. It's in front of you now. You know what it is. Now you deal with it head on, and you don't live your life as it. So, not to say that every brick that's part of your life is necessarily a bad thing. It's when you keep it there, and then you start stacking another brick, and then you stack another brick, and then you stack another root cause. Why am I having this knee pain? Oh, it's because these ankle pains. Okay, why am I having these ankle pains? Okay, it's because of the places you walk. Okay, why am I walking to these places? And you keep stacking all these reasons as to why this excuse exists versus actually just tackling the excuse, tackling that brick, or in fact just removing that brick and realizing it. So the message for today really is, one, understand that you're in a matrix, you're in a programming. There are things beyond your control to help, let's say, the whole world, but the minute you're brought into this world, there's a set of rules, limitations, and coding that you are living by. It's invisible, you can't see it. Two, once you feel the limitations, and you're trying to push it, and you're trying to explore it, that's when you start to realize, that's step two really, that's when you start realizing that there's something not in alignment, it's holding you back. Step three now is labeling it to some degree so you know how to approach it. And this is typically where most people are at these days. This is typically where you're at. You're probably at number three. If you're not at number three and you just stumble across this video, sorry. But you're probably at number three, where you have that excuse in front of you, now you gotta tackle it. There's no point. It's like mental masturbation, where you're consistently looking at the root cause, the root cause, the root cause, the root cause. And it's a great mental game, sure. It's a great exercise, but it doesn't solve the issue. You need to tackle that issue before building it into something greater. Until it becomes a habit. Until it becomes this poor victim mentality. As we continue together, I'll start bringing on reasons, or rather methods, of how we could actually remove these obstacles. Mainly it's going to be in the fitness industry, or rather your fitness goals. It'll be in your fitness goals, as well as pain signs, getting over some physiological pains, or chronic and acute pains, understanding them a little bit better. Until then, ciao.